Starting on February 22nd, 2021, all eBay sellers are going to be required to enter in certain item specifics in specific categories. I'm going to discuss that here on the other side of the intro. So without any further ado, let's go. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is John with Flippin Ain't Easy. For those of you who've never watched my videos before, I'm a full-time eBay seller. I make videos on YouTube to help other eBay sellers sort of navigate the policies and the different things that we have to go through as eBay sellers. And one of these things that I have to talk to you about is in regards to item specifics. Most of you should have received an email message in your eBay messages from eBay stating that on the 22nd of February 2021 that items in certain categories, you're going to have your item specifics filled in for those required item specifics. Otherwise, you won't be able to create a new listing, revise an old listing, or to relist an item in those categories. And the categories that I'm talking about are business and industrial, shoes, clothes and accessories, health and beauty, home and garden, musical instruments, and sporting goods. Now, for those of you guys who may have seen a video that I did last year, I'll put it right up there. It also spoke to the need to have certain item specifics entered in to your listings for certain categories. And you know, we're talking about coins and paper money, electronics, things like that. So this is nothing new. Those categories have required, or some categories have required us to enter in item specifics. That was back on, I believe, the 9th of September. And they're just now adding new categories so that we as sellers have to comply with what they want us to do, and that's going to add a little bit extra work. But before we get into sort of my thoughts on that whole thing, let me just tell you why, at least in eBay's words, why we need to be entering in item specifics. One reason is that they state that complete and accurate item specifics can increase the visibility of your listing in eBay search results, Google search, and Google shopping, and help your buyers find exactly what they're looking for. eBay also says that buyers use item specifics to filter their search results, making it easier for them to find exactly what they're looking for. Your item will only appear in those filtered search results if you've added the matching item specific information to your listing. So on the 22nd of February, once this kicks in, if you list in either business and industrial, shoes, clothes and accessories, health and beauty, home and garden, musical instruments, and sporting goods, you're going to be required to have all your item specifics. Now, I can tell you that required item specifics are usually the following. Brand, so you have to put in the brand for that clothing item that you're selling. You have to put in the brand for that razor that you might be selling on eBay. Just as an example, if you sell in any one of those categories, you have to make sure you get that brand in there. And if you don't know the brand, just put unbranded. That's another thing you can do, but you can't leave it blank. NA is also an option, but I'm not quite sure how that's going to work under the brand item specific. Unbranded is a good way to go. UPC, now I've encountered situations where I didn't have a UPC, and I continue to do that. And sometimes eBay does not allow me to even finalize the listing unless I place does not apply in there. So again, if you're listing in one of these categories, make sure you have a UPC, or at least put does not apply. Your model number. So usually your model number and your MPN, which is a manufacturer's part number, are the same number or series of characters and letters. Make sure you're putting that in there. If you don't have one, simply put in NA or does not apply. That works just as well. Now, that's not the entire list of required item specifics. There's other item specifics depending on the category you're selling in. If you're selling in, let's say, clothing, you'll be required to put in the color. You'll be required to put in the size, for instance. Like, for instance, electronics. If you're dealing with selling a computer hard drive, you have to put the size of the hard drive so that people will be able to know exactly how large this item is that you're selling. And there's other required item specifics, just really depending on the category that your item is listed in. So right now I'm going to stop the video. I'm going to ask you guys to do me one favor before we continue. I'm going to talk about how I feel about these changes, but do me one favor, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you like this content. And if you already are subscribed, consider hitting that notification bell so that you could be notified when I come out with a new video. This video wasn't really a planned thing. eBay seems to create content for me, and I thought it was important to get this information out to you guys today. I was out and about today, and as soon as I got home, I took care of some eBay things, and I'm doing this video because I really want you guys to have this information. A lot of you guys don't have time, so busy. Maybe you're working a full-time job, coming home, doing your eBay stuff, that you just don't have time to read all your messages, and even if you do, don't have time to sort of research exactly what all this means. And that's what this video is designed to do, is to help you understand what all this means. So for me, I think this is sort of a good and bad development, and I'll tell you what I mean. Initially, it's going to be a pain in the butt, and I'll be honest with you on that. Going through last year, back in September, when these changes were implemented, I sell a lot of electronics, so it was sort of a pain having to deal with this. It slows you down when you are selling. A lot of you all sell with the app. I tried the app. I didn't care for it too much because of other reasons, not so much the item specifics. But initially, I can tell you, you're going to be dealing with a lot of item specific issues where the listings aren't even going to allow you to end the listing, and you're going to have to go in and find these things. And that's going to be, it's doable. You'll be able to find the information. I'm sure you'll be able to find the information. You have the tangible item in your hand that you're selling, and there's plenty of resources on Google search. Amazon sells like 90% of the things that we have in our households anyway. So those are two resources where you can try to find a lot of these item specifics if you don't have them. But once this sort of gets going, let's say give it about 2 months, nobody's going to be able to list this particular item in these categories without having the required item specifics filled out, which means that when you go to eBay and you find an item, let's say that you're selling that's in the solds, and you click on sell one like this, that information is already going to be there for you, at least for the required item specifics. And eventually we're going to be at a place where if you list that way, you won't have to fill out those item specifics. That information is going to be there for you. Now, it's always a good idea to review those item specifics, because someone might be just putting NA for everything. And I've encountered that where I clicked on sell one like this, and it was like the only one that was sold of that kind. And this person put NA for everything, even though it was obvious, the color, the size. So, and that information was in their title, but yet they just NA'd everything. And so you can get away with NA and does not apply, but I don't think you're going to rank that well the more NAs and do not apply that you have in your listing. And certainly if someone's searching for your item in the filter that's on the left-hand side, it's not going to be easy for them to find your item, if at all. But in a few months, you know, they're going to introduce more categories, I assume. But if you sell in these categories, and most of you or many of you sell clothing, if you sell in these categories exclusively, things are going to get better over time if you list the way that I recommend, which is to find the item that you're selling and sell one like this, provide your own photos and information, correct the item specifics that are there, but just know that eventually that item will allow you to finalize the listing without doing anything with the item specifics, I would say in a few months after people get their listings up. You won't be able to revise your listing. You won't be able to submit an old listing that's already, let's say, in a draft without these item specifics. So everyone's going to have to comply. Now, I get why eBay is doing this. They want to branch out and get the eyes on your product to more buyers out there on Google search, Google shopping, all these different areas where people are looking for your item, but not necessarily on eBay. So it's a good thing for us sellers eventually, but it causes us extra work. If you're creating a listing from scratch, you're going to have to get these items specific. So that's why I would recommend, before listing any item from scratch, to find that listing in the solds on eBay and piggyback off of those listings. It's going to save you some time and dealing with all those item specifics. So what do you guys think? What's your opinion on this? How do you feel about these changes? Don't let it chase you away from the platform. I receive messages from quite a few frustrated sellers, and it seems like every time eBay makes a change or implements a change, they're like, you know what? That's it. Final straw for me. But if you rely on this income, and maybe for those of you who are quitting, don't really rely on this income. Maybe this is something that you're doing just sort of as passive income and it's just too frustrating. But for those of us who rely on this income as a partial source of income to get by, or as a full-time source of income, you guys, don't let these things chase you away. You just have to incorporate these changes into your daily routine, and things are going to get better for you. What do you think of the content? Please comment down below if you have something to say on this matter. Did I forget anything? Is there an angle that I didn't see here? Please let me know down below. And again, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell, guys. I want to thank you for watching this video, and just know one thing, that flipping ain't easy, and we'll see you very soon.